All right. Good morning, Build a Store members. We're going live today to talk about what's next after 21 days. After you've built out your store, what happens next? Because I'm getting a lot of questions about this because some of you are very active in making sure that you execute on all the days, all the tasks that you had to complete. And now that your store is ready, what do you do next? Let's wait for people to join in inside the group because I'm doing this live. Inside Build a Store Challenge. As soon as we have some people joining in. So what happens is as soon as I go live, Facebook starts notifying everyone that I'm live. So this way they join, they start watching, and they can start engaging and asking questions as well. Let me make sure that everything is set up on my side. All right. Perfect. Excellent. I'm used to doing these live sessions towards always like around 8 o'clock at night or afternoons on the weekend. So now it's kind of like different and new, obviously. Let me make sure that works always like around 8 o'clock. Okay. Let me close this. I'm still waiting for some people to join in. And we'll take it from there. Perfect. I'm all set up. So let's make this happen. Let's start giving you some guidance into what happens next. So let me put up my screen, share it with you right now, and we'll take it from there. Let me put up the slides. Excellent. I don't see people joining in. I just want to make sure that I'm not having any technical issues, because usually I have a bunch of people immediately logging in and take part. And I don't want to. Oh, all right. I start seeing people jump in now. Perfect. Excellent. So whoever is inside I see Christian. Can you let me know inside the comments if you hear me well, if all is well? Do you see my screen? You see me? I want to start, but I just want to make sure that people are able to hear me before we. And I know that a lot of you are going to watch this after it's been recorded because obviously the timing might not work for you. Okay, should be fine. Excellent. You are going to watch. So I'm going to turn this just off. All right. So let's get started. I don't want to delay things. And for those who are joining in afterwards, that's fine. I want to make sure that you guys have all the information you need. So what I want to start with is really giving you guys a reality check of what involves e-commerce. And a lot of times we notice that, and I'm noticing it a lot on the internet nowadays, a lot of people are selling the e-commerce dream. You're going to make millions of dollars with e-commerce. You start shipping, you start drop shipping, it's so easy to build a store. It's so easy to find products to sell. It's so easy to drive traffic to your store from Facebook, from Google. A lot of times it's Facebook. And what happens is when you start going into this world of e-commerce, especially when you start joining a lot of Facebook groups, you're going to notice that a lot of people are there to simply share a screenshot of their accomplishments. Oh, look, I did this and I did that. It's great. It's sometimes motivating. It's inspiring. But at the same time, it's sometimes selling this fake expectations of what e-commerce is all about. And what I wanted to start with, first of all, is what happens next. Now that you've built out your store, what should you expect going forward? So I wanted to start with the reality check because I feel that it's a great reminder for anyone who is about to embark in what could possibly be one of their biggest journeys in the business world. So when you build out your store, back in the day, you build out a store, you put a couple of products, they start coming in, people, they start buying immediately because there wasn't a lot of competition. People were just getting started in terms of getting comfortable with the internet, but the competition was critical. Back in the day, there weren't a lot of people selling online. Now it's been over a decade, 15 years now. People have embraced the e-commerce world big time. And the one thing that you have to consider is you're not alone, meaning there are many choices out there and a lot of noise when it comes to people trying to sell their products. So if you think that you're going to just go in there and start, let's say, for example, as soon as you launch your store, people are just going to find you. Well, guess what? They're not going to find you. You got to work at it. There's two things you have to consider. If you're going at this with no budget in mind for marketing, it's going to require a lot of time from your part. You need to invest all of this time into doing a lot of marketing activities in order for you to get some traction, brand awareness, build an audience, drive traffic to the website, and just getting more and more eyeballs on your products. But if you're getting started into this and you actually have a big budget set aside for marketing, it is easier because now you're going to pay to play. It's a lot easier to get in front of your audience because you're paying Google, you're paying Facebook. But then at the same time, you have to understand that you're also competing against other brands that are going to be also advertising in the same space. So you're willing to pay $1, the competitor might be willing to pay $1.10. And you're going to go up to $1.20. And everybody's just competing and competing and competing. The one that has the most money could potentially grab everyone's attention, but that does not mean because you have the money, you're going to actually sell products. You're going to drive traffic to the website. You're going to drive more and more eyeballs, but still nothing guarantees that people are actually going to buy from you. There's a lot of variables at play here. So that's why it's very important when you go in, whether you have a limited budget, no budget, or limited budget in advertising and marketing, or you have a big budget, understand that there are some risks associated. One, you're going to put a lot of time in trying to build things yourself, doing it yourself because you can't afford, let's say, hiring someone. And the other side of things is you might have a lot of money, but that does not mean that you don't have any risk or your chances of success are much higher. Unfortunately, that's not the case, especially currently right now in the landscape that we're living in. So that's the reality check. Is it takes not months, it takes years to build a successful e-commerce business. Now, if you're doing this as a side project, as a side business, understand that it requires time. So you need to be patient, you need to be consistent, and you need to be persistent in how you go about running the business. Again, you're not just going to launch it and expect people to immediately purchase from you. It requires some work. Now, some people might put up on, you'll start noticing it because you're entering the e-commerce world. You'll start noticing people really talking about look how much I'm making. I built a 6-figure, 7-figure business on Shopify in 90 days, in 4 months, in 5 months, 6 months. It is possible, but that's one in thousands of people actually achieving that. And a lot of times when you see people showing off or highlighting these type of results, there is something in the back end what they're trying to promote. They might be promoting a course, some sort of paid program, some coaching, some mentoring. I would rather you go out there and instead of looking for people who have just flashing their screenshots of their sales, look at brands that have established themselves in the space and that are currently achieving great success and learn from their strategies. Don't just go after the people that are just showing their sales. Sales does not mean anything. You could literally lose $1 million trying to drive $1 million in sales. Again, sales, it's one thing. There's a lot of costs associated. And unfortunately, in this space, understand that not everyone is willing to share the cost associated with them selling $1 million. So their profits may not be there, but unfortunately, not everyone sees this and they get overconsumed by this fake e-commerce success and then eventually get demotivated because you're not seeing the results. You start seeing that, everyone else is succeeding except me. And then you just give up on your store and that's it, that's all. So again, I'm just wanted to give you a preview of what to expect. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes knowledge. It takes you being fully committed to this and willing to suffer along the way in building this whole thing. But again, There's always a lot of effort required in the beginning, but eventually, as you start consistently executing on these tactics, these strategies, you start seeing some results, and eventually enough money will be generated in terms of profits for you to invest back into the business, invest back into marketing. But keep in mind, anything is possible if you actually are fully committed to this. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover, a reality check. Next step, what happens after you launch your online store? It's time to do some marketing. And if I was to summarize what marketing is all about, it's really just grab people's attention. That's all what we're doing in marketing. Advertising or grab people's attentions through email marketing, or grabbing people's attention right now. I am marketing myself right now through live stream videos. I'm doing this through Facebook groups. You might be doing this through Instagram, you name it. Marketing is all about grabbing people's attention, from offsite, non-digital, like billboards, to magazines, to print, to newspaper ads. All that stuff is trying to grab your attention. If you look at the news, right, these days, the headlines is what grabs your attention. You don't even need to read the full story. They grabbed your attention through the headline on news websites or in newspapers, whichever the ones are still alive at this point. So whether it's digital or offline, these companies, and you included, you're going to have to grab people's attention in order to get some eyeballs on your offer, your message. It could be a specific thing that gives them value, knowledge, information, entertainment, and it could be just a hard sell. You're trying to sell them on a product that you have on sale, a promotion, a sale, whatever it might be. So just understand that marketing is all about grabbing someone's attention. Now, here's the thing that differentiates successful stores and unsuccessful stores. The ones that grab the attention does not guarantee that they're going to succeed. They're just good at making a lot of noise, or they're able to immediately connect with an audience. Unfortunately, grabbing someone's attention does not mean that they will engage with what you have to say, are willing to listen to you, and eventually take action on what they've listened to, or the way you. So for example, I grabbed your attention immediately when you put up an ad, or I opened your email, or I saw your Facebook ad or Instagram. Great, you got my attention. Am I going to engage, or am I going to just ignore it and continue swiping? If I start reading or I start engaging with your ad or your message, that's a good step. And then eventually you want me to take action. What do you want me to do after I've consumed this piece of content? Do you want me to visit your website? Do you want me to buy something? Do you want me to share it with someone? Do you want me to comment? Do you want me to like it? A call to action is critical. And so when you start doing your marketing, you'll notice that in the beginning, you're just making a lot of noise to grab people's attention. But unfortunately, not everyone is doing a great job as putting content out there that takes people to the next level of engaging with it and then eventually taking action on it. So that's what you need to know in terms of what is it that you're going to expect going forward with marketing. So now that you have an idea, well, next thing, I got to drive traffic. I got to drive eyeballs. I got to drive attention. What do you do next? Next thing is all about building your brand awareness. So when you go out there and you're trying to, obviously, you don't expect people to immediately start buying your products. You got to raise brand awareness. And if you've completed the challenge fully, you'll notice that a lot of the tasks were associated with digital marketing tasks, like building out your Facebook page, your Instagram account. All of these tactics, these tasks allow you to establish your brand where the current attention is going from your target audience. Where are people? Like, I need you to step back right now and ask yourself, where is my audience? Where are they spending most of their time? Now, whether it's you have budget or no budget for marketing, put that aside and ask, where are these people? The people that I'm trying to target, let's say for yoga equipment, yoga clothing, apparel, fitness stuff, where are they? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on Facebook? Are they browsing specific websites for news? Are they on reddit.com? Where do they hang out online? We all hang out somewhere online. So you need to figure out where is your target audience so that you make sure you put most of your efforts inside that channel. Try not to do too many things at once in the beginning. Focus on one specific channel that you know for a fact people are there. For example, if I'm selling yoga right now, I know for a fact that people are spending a lot of time on Instagram. especially in the yoga crowd. The yoga industry, people are sharing their fitness routines, people are sharing their yoga fashion, they're sharing tips, health, wellness. This category is very, very popular on Instagram. Hence, me, someone who has a yoga brand, I'm going to put more effort in building my brand on this platform. Try to avoid going everywhere else because everyone tells you to do so. So if you're focused on Instagram and let's say you have 100% of your effort is on Instagram, as soon as you add in there YouTube, well, it's 50-50 now. Your focus, yes, you might be putting a lot of work in Instagram, but your focus is going to be 50-50. Add on to it Facebook. That's now 30-30. A third of your time is put into all these things. When you're trying to build awareness on other platforms, it's different from email marketing, for example. What I'm saying right now is you're building awareness. You haven't gotten any, no one is paying attention to you. If you do all of the email marketing right now on your website, don't expect people to see you yet. Obviously, I highly recommend you put in place all of the marketing strategies and things that need to be in place before traffic comes in that we're going to talk about. But if you're trying to build brand awareness, you really have to go out there first. And that's the easiest way, okay, to get started. But again, don't stretch yourself too thin that eventually your efforts cannot have a big impact. So if I was in your position, for example, I'll say to myself, okay, I'm going to create an account on Instagram, or I could use my current personal audience. But again, you don't want to also go there and constantly go on your personal account promoting your products because people follow you for a reason. They follow you as a person, not as someone who's trying to sell them on something. So I always say create a balance between having a personal account and an account for your online store. And once in a while, go on your personal account and talk about what you're doing for your online store, what you're promoting. But every day, focus on your brand account. Build this so that people know, and you can link it back to your personal account just to add more, my story, who's behind the brand. There's ways of doing that in your bio. So again, I would put in a lot of effort in building my awareness on, let's say, Instagram, because of the fact that it's a lot easier to get people to discover me through hashtags. It's a visual social network. I don't have to wait for search engine optimization. I don't have to wait for Google to rank me in search results with my blog content. It's the easiest way to get started, Instagram. And the eyeballs are there in most industries. Now, if you're selling metal parts, yeah, you need to find the right place. It could be on LinkedIn. You might be selling metal parts to, let's say, businesses. Well, LinkedIn is the social network for businesses and professionals and buyers that might be interested in your metal parts. So you really need to figure it out. I would go on Instagram, let's say in my situation, let's say I'm talking about yoga because that's a demo of this challenge. I'll build out my profile. I'll make sure I follow all the challenge tasks that have been assigned to you. Make sure everything is branded properly. The bio is fully nicely done. My logo is properly communicated. I start creating content in there. I start putting posts, videos, Instagram stories, Instagram lives. Talk about the business, talk about the product, talk about the benefits of your product, the people behind it, and start doing this every single day, especially if you don't have a budget. It's time. Let's face it. Reality is it's going to take you time to build this. So if you don't have the budget, that's what you have to do. All right. And usually from my part, I always say I try to put most of my effort in one channel every month, just so that I have a significant impact on the audience that's following me from this channel. And then sometimes I'll test out other channels for the next month, for the month afterwards, and so on and so forth. And I try to keep track of the results so that I see what's working and what's not working. And at the beginning, I can't tell you what's going to work. I can tell you what people are doing and what's working, but your brand, your audience, your location, your demographics could be different. And the idea in the beginning is you need to go out there and you start fishing, you throw your line everywhere and try to see what works. But focus also on educating yourself on strategies that have been proven to work. While you're building your audience on Instagram, don't ignore the website. Make sure you are setting up your email marketing. Make sure you're putting things in place on the website that as soon as you start driving traffic, that traffic starts converting better. So don't launch the contest after you start getting traffic. Make sure you launch a giveaway on your website so that as soon as traffic starts coming in, people have something to sign up to. And eventually you get an email address. And then that email address gets put into your email list. And then they start getting your welcome series. You're teaching them about what the brand is all about. And eventually you send them an offer by email through a discount for their first time purchase. And slowly things start rolling. So don't just focus on just building the awareness, and that you need to also think about the other side on things that you need to do on your website. Don't ignore that. So again, a lot of times what I'm also noticing is people are going to put a lot of effort into, let's say, just Instagram, and they forget their website. They put just their focus on Facebook and they forget about their website. Yet, because you have analytics installed, you're going to start seeing traffic slowly increasing. Don't ignore it. You need to make sure people are going to convert. You need to have your live chat. You need to have some email marketing in place. You need to write some blog posts about your content, valuable insights, so that at least Google is going to start ranking you slowly with time. And eventually you'll see that with time, you have some traffic coming in from Instagram. You're going to have traffic coming in from Google. You're going to have traffic coming in from Bing. You're going to have some traffic coming in from Facebook. And slowly, all this traffic goes back into your store. And you'll notice that you're starting to build an audience. So in the beginning, I don't obsess over sending traffic. Build an audience. All right. And this is what even the approach I've done, even though I'm not doing e-commerce right now with the academy and this challenge itself, I built an audience. Not everyone bought my courses. Not everyone bought my content or started hiring me to speak to them and do all that stuff. I didn't get it. That wasn't the focus. The focus was building a quality audience, engaged audience inside this group, so that eventually you see me, I'm being consistent, I'm being persistent, I'm being patient, I'm giving so much information so that it brings some value to your challenges in the business world, in e-commerce, or helping you acquire a new skill. And the idea is this audience, with time, as you start nurturing it, eventually will convert. And the same goes for your online store. So this audience could be on Instagram. Chances are that same audience is also, a percentage of them is on Facebook. A percentage of them is on other channels like Snapchat or TikTok, or they're browsing the web. They're searching on Google for things. They're educating themselves. They're on YouTube acquiring new knowledge. They're watching videos and that. There are only specific areas, websites or platforms where people spend their time. Over time, you're going to see audiences overlap. And eventually, all of those will start working. But don't expect that from day one. Don't expect that from the first couple of months. It will take maybe 2 years. It will take over a year. Again, I'm talking about you not putting any money on advertising. And even if you put money on advertising, even if you put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, don't expect to see results immediately. It's luck and research. There's so many factors at play here that can determine your success, that sometimes people get so overconfident in terms of what they're going to do. And then eventually they get discouraged and they quit and they said, e-commerce sucks. This is not for me. And you know what? Doesn't make sense. How is everyone else having success? I could tell you for a fact that a lot of people are going through this, and eventually they say, it's not for me, because they quit too soon, or they think they have all the answers. Yet, I've been going at it for over 18 years. And I swear to God, to this day, this challenge alone has taught me so much, that I've discovered so many new different ways of marketing some products, that I am suggesting a lot of these tactics, these strategies to our clients and our agency. So I am also learning to this day, after 18 years, that I'm not quitting. And a lot of people are quitting after a couple of months, which does not make any sense. So build an audience. It's critical, because when you have an engaged audience, that's when things start rolling. So for example, when you're on Instagram, please don't do this where you're just posting pictures of your product and telling people, buy this, buy this, buy this. No one likes that. No one likes no one likes to be sold to. But if you start posting and you talk about so many things that matter. For example, if I'm selling yoga products and I'm targeting people who love yoga, if I go out there and I talk about buy my mat, buy my yoga mat, buy my yoga mat, buy my yoga bottle, buy my yoga apparel and all that stuff, people won't like that. But I ask myself, what do people, my audience, what is it that they are being challenged with on a daily basis? What is it that they deal with on a daily basis? What are they talking about? What are they doing every day at home, at work? What kind of businesses do they have? And what if I start creating content based on those challenges. So for example, I'm going to use the example again of yoga people. They like to eat healthy. Let's say for a moment that people who do yoga love drinking smoothies, healthy smoothies. Well, I could go in front of the camera or create a post wearing my yoga products. So let's say I'm selling tops and yoga leggings and all that. I would be wearing all of those. I mean, that's a nice, try to imagine that. And then I'm going to go in, let's say in my kitchen, and I share my favorite strawberry smoothie, what's it called? A smoothie recipe. And I have everything in there. And I start talking to people on Instagram about this amazing recipe that I have for my smoothie that I take every day. I feel great. It helps me during my routines and this and that. And I'm engaging with my audience. They're watching what I have to say. They're going to start commenting. They're going to start liking. They're going to start sharing this account with other yoga people, their friends, their colleagues at work. And eventually, slowly, as you start focusing more on engagement, not sales, people are going to get curious about what is it that you do. And eventually click on your bio, click on your website, come onto your website, see what you have to sell. But eventually you planted some seeds in their brains to say, if you're thinking about buying yoga products, hello, I'm here. I've been talking to you about my yoga lifestyle. I've been talking to you about my recipes. I've been sharing with you some yoga tips in terms of exercises. I've been going live, let's say once a week, sharing my yoga routine. We might work out together. All of that stuff is happening there. You're building your audience, you're building your brand, you're building your audience, you're getting them to engage with your content. And eventually it has to go where you've nurtured these relationships to a point that they will convert. If you're bringing value to their lives, if you're bringing them so much value that it's improving their lives, these people will buy what you have to offer. If they obviously see value in terms of what is it that you have to offer. So again, don't obsess just over, I need to drive traffic and sales. Trust me, if you're going to go into this as just traffic and sales, yes, it is very, very important because obviously you're in the business of making money. But if you're in it to just do that, then learn about advertising and that's it. Go buy a course about Facebook ads and just do this. Or learn a course about Google ads and just do that. If you're just focused on driving traffic and not building a brand, not building an audience, not having all that stuff, and you really just want people to buy once from you and leave, then just focus on advertising. That's what advertising is all about. People do a lot of Facebook ads right now because they just want immediate traffic. They don't want to do blogs. They don't want to do, not everybody, but a lot of times e-commerce is associated with that. Let me just drive traffic to the website, have people convert, and I'm done. That's one strategy. So I'll save you all this time. Don't build a brand. Don't build the audience. Just learn how to do Facebook advertising. Hire some expert to help you out. Put a lot of money on this. You're going to have to spend money, and then you're going to get your traffic and start adjusting your campaigns based on the results. And slowly with time, what are you going to notice is, oh, I know what campaigns work well. I know what drives traffic, quality traffic, and what converts. And you start putting more money on it. And they call this scaling. And you start scaling, and eventually you'll make the money or the profits that you expect. So if you're not into this, then obviously you're here to build something bigger. Then take into consideration everything I've spoken about so far. Which brings me now to the point of, great, now that you have the brand awareness, you have your audience, people are engaging back and forth. This, by the way, let me just take a sip. This, by the way, is in your control in terms of timing. If you're fully dedicated to this, within a couple of months, it could work. It could work within a month. You might hit someone popular, you might be able to grab their attention. And then next thing you know, they share it with their friends, or an influencer picks up your product and they share it because they love what is it that you have to sell. I've seen this happen. Again, not a lot, but it does happen. So you could get your break within a month. You could get it within a year or 2 years. So expect that. And I say this only because I've been exposed to hundreds and hundreds of businesses that have called me. So what I do is I do advising. Over 200 calls I've received so far in the last couple of years. And I can tell you for a fact, many businesses are struggling with the same things I'm speaking to you about right now. And you're getting it all for free just so that you're prepared for what is to expect in terms of building your e-commerce business. So if you're going out there, now is the time, obviously, when you've built out all that stuff, you need to focus on driving traffic, because at a certain point, It's great to be engaged with your audience. It's great to be putting out all this content and that. But if you're not getting results, then it's time for you to assess your strategies. It's time for you to reassess everything that you're doing offsite, on social media, on Google and all that stuff, and what you're doing on your website, and figure out what is going on. Why are they buying, or why aren't they buying? And you start looking into these things. Now, the best approach I usually tell people in terms of trying to figure things out is, instead of doing that, why don't you implement proven strategies that have worked for decades when it comes to e-commerce? Here's an example. We know for a fact that people convert really well every time you send them a shopping cart abandonment email. If they add something to the cart and they leave, which more than 75% of people abandon a cart, that's like the average for e-commerce, then sending them an email within an hour to 3 hours telling them, by the way, you forgot something in your cart. I mean, we all get interrupted, distracted, especially nowadays with the smartphones. And that email that you send out could potentially increase your sales because you're reminding people, by the way, just come back to the website. This item is on sale. It's not going to stay there forever. And this is your opportunity to get it at a discounted price, or we have limited quantities, or it's something you've been wanting. Just add to cart and check out. And we offer free shipping over $100. You know what? Just a nice nudge like that can increase sales. Shopping cart abandonment emails are proven to work. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Make sure that this is implemented. That's what I mean by implementing proven strategies that have been used by all the big brands, all the big retailers for decades. Why go out there and reinvent the wheel when these things are available? With time, you're going to start learning about them. So it takes time, obviously, but you got to educate yourself. Or if you can't, then you pay someone to do it for you, or you pay for advanced training to teach you all that stuff. So there you have so many options. And just going on Google and typing it in, you can find this information. You got to dig, you got to look for it, you got to read and all that stuff. So obviously, again, it takes time. But if you have the budget, then invest in someone to help you out. Invest in an employee to help you out. Invest in some specialist in email marketing or whatever it is, or even a program, a coaching program, or a course, whatever might be the option for you that can fit your budget. There are options, there are solutions. So don't delay it, and just don't sit there and tell yourself, this is not for me, it's not working. E-commerce is easy when it comes to building a website. Finding a product to sell is easy, but finding a product that's actually going to sell at a profit to a customer that's going to continuously buy from you over time, and finding the right shoppers and building and growing your business, that's the hard part. And that's where people quit. But at the end of the day, it's like you trying to lose weight. You know for a fact that working out and eating well will make the difference. Whatever program you use, whether you're taking it from the best trainer to the fittest woman on earth, it's nutrition and working out. You can't avoid it unless you're doing a surgery. And again, there are other options that require a lot of investments. But if you want to do it the right way, eat well and work out, you know for a fact this works. The same goes for e-commerce. There are things that simply work. Facebook advertising alone might work in the beginning. But guess what? What happens when Facebook shuts you down? All of this hard work has gone down the drain. They shut you down, they suspend you because you went against their policies. The same could happen with Google. The same could happen with Amazon. You're risking it all by not focusing on building your website. So if you think about it, would you ever build a house on a rented lot? Not really. So that's what it is on Facebook and Instagram. You're building your business on these channels, but don't rely solely on these channels. Build your home on your own website. Your home base is your website. Constantly invest in it, because if you ever lose any of them, you still have a backup. And forget about losing it. If algorithms change, you saw what's happening on Facebook and Instagram and every social network in the future. Your reach is going to be limited because we're using this for free. They want you to pay as an advertiser to grab people's attention. You can't expect this to be free forever. So what they're doing is they're limiting your exposure. And if you want to get more exposure, grab people's attention, put money. That's all it is. So that too is a risk. So many businesses have been built on Instagram in e-commerce that when Instagram was acquired by Facebook, and Facebook started changing the algorithm and the rules and offering different things, everyone started complaining, I'm not getting any more traffic, I'm not getting any more engagement. You're seeing the same thing happen with influencers right now. My reach is different. I'm not getting the reach I expected. I'm not as popular. I'm not getting as many likes and comments. Things change. You, as an e-commerce business, have to adapt to all this change, whether you like it or not. And those people who are truly committed to this and willing to adapt quickly to all this change, those are the ones that will succeed. Which brings me now, so I grabbed your attention with this video. I hope you've been engaged and listening to what I have to say, taking notes. And now I'm giving you the call to action. So what I've decided to do is, instead of this group, Build a Store in 21 Days, is focused solely on helping you build your store. That's it. I don't want to overwhelm people in there and start talking about doubling your sales and how to increase sales, how to drive traffic, how to build awareness and all that stuff. I don't want people to get sidetracked. I want them to focus on one thing, which is to build a store. So what I've done is I've created a new group called, if I can get to it, Double My E-commerce Sales in 12 months. I'm going to put this in the comments so you guys can join. There you go. It's in the comments. Make sure to answer the questions. If you don't, I've been already declining people. I don't want people to just come in and just curiosity. I want them to really be committed to this in terms of learning something, in terms of getting value from this group. And even with the challenge, a lot of people have been requesting access, but if they don't take the time to actually just answer the questions, this means they're not going to be committed. And that's why I just decline anybody who does not take the time to answer all these questions. And you answering the questions when you request access helps me create content that's going to help you achieve what you're trying to do. Now, notice that also I have already people waiting. I haven't opened the group yet because I want to prepare it, set it up. Now, the next step is for you to say, if I finish Build a Store in 21 days, what should I do next? Well, first of all, we've talked about this. I've given you some action steps. But if you want to learn more on how to do these things, I'm going to be more active in the other group to help people build out the traffic and sales in their online store. So join the group. Again, only if you've completed it. Now, if you're very curious, obviously you're learning. You're not just there to simply build a store. You just want to learn about e-commerce, now digital marketing, conversions, and all that stuff. Join right ahead. I'm not going to say, no, you need a store. But again, I don't want people to be sidetracked, hence the reason why I divided these two groups. But here's what's going to happen again next. I am going to try to do more Q&A or talk about one topic once a month, twice a month, maybe in the Build a Store challenge. But again, the topics will solely be around building a store. I am also going to do the same thing that you saw in the challenge, not a challenge part, but there will be more live videos. There will be some webinars. I'm going to write blog posts about the topic of doubling your sales and all that stuff. All that stuff is going to be shared inside Double My E-commerce Sales in 12 months. It's a free group, but here's the thing. In this group, Double My E-commerce Sales, it's where I'm going to share some tips, some tactics that have worked for many, many years, not just for me building 8-figure e-commerce businesses, but other big e-commerce businesses. I'll be honest with you and straightforward. In the group, Double My E-commerce Sales, I plan on launching a premium training. And this training is for people who really want to take their e-commerce knowledge and business to the next level. In that training, I'm going to be sharing a lot of my advanced strategies for digital marketing. This is the stuff that I do during the day for big companies. This is the stuff that I usually don't share for free. This stuff obviously is based on my experience over 18 years. And I decided to finally launch a program, not a course, not a challenge, but a coaching program specifically for people that are going to be looking for these type of advanced strategies that have worked. So during the day, I'm actually involved in e-commerce with many brands. I'm helping them grow. And at night, I want to start teaching more of these advanced strategies to people like you, people who are actually interested. Now, the group Double My E-commerce Sales will have some high level tactics that you can implement. You're going to get a lot of value from it, that I can guarantee. But understand that if you want to take it to the next level and actually grow using real strategies, there is a premium program that's going to be launched soon. And I'm going to start doing more and more content in this group here. There will be a separate group in the future for students or like clients that are inside this program. That's a separate topic. But inside Double My E-commerce Sales, I'm going to share things that actually work. All right. I'm not going to be there just talking about just Facebook. I'm going to talk about everything that actually works for e-commerce in driving sales. As soon as you want to go really, really deep, then obviously it requires teaching and more coaching, and that's something else. So the group is inside the comments. Make sure to request access. And what's nice about this is you're going to be surrounded by people who are trying to achieve the same thing. So those who have been following me for a very long time, notice that I have a group called E-commerce Training Academy that has over 3,500 members. Unfortunately, in this group, I'm not going to be talking a lot about building a store and driving sales and that, because people who join this group are just, testing the water. They're not sure if they want to do e-commerce or not. And that's why I created 2 separate groups that people who are serious can start joining, and I can at least create targeted content for them. And that's it. That's all I have to say, I think. Yeah, this is gone. This is gone. I'm using the template. I'm going to leave the last section. So make sure to join Double My E-commerce Sales, the private Facebook group. It's going where I'm going to do a lot of that stuff. And again, I'm not going to stop doing any Facebook Lives here. And I forgot one more thing. Let me bring you this here. Which is a good news. I just need to log in. So what I've done, if for those who don't like to be too much on Facebook because of the fact that it's too distracting, I've created a new course inside E-commerce Training Academy that includes a list of all of those challenge videos. So I've taken all the content inside this challenge and put them inside the academy for anyone who wants to go through it without being on Facebook. So here's an example. I'm going to share this. I'm going to get to your questions. So if you have any questions, make sure you request them inside the comments. Right here, you'll notice that, let me just share this bigger screen so you guys have it. There we go. So if you sign up, all you need to do is go to E-commerce Training Academy and click on Build a Store Challenge. Even if you're already registered, just register right here, and you're going to get access to the academy. You're going to get an email, password, just join in. And what happens is inside right here, you'll notice that everything is created for you so that it's easy. All the videos have been downloaded. All the tasks are right here. And again, I've had many people request access to something that's outside of Facebook because they don't use Facebook. So I'm going to put the link inside the comments. So right here. For anyone who wants to join, there you go. So the comment is there. You can join the academy. Again, what's nice about it is you're not relying on Facebook. And honestly, sometimes it's better. This way you can focus. You're not distracted by people going live. You're not distracted by people messaging you, commenting. It's all there, excuse me. And so it's all there for you to follow, and you'll have access for it forever until the academy exists. And that was the last thing that I had to share with you. I hope this was useful. Let me know in the comments. I mean, is that good for you in terms of what is it to expect in the next, not 21 days, but after 21 days? Are there any questions or things that you want me to talk about with regards to the e-commerce reality check, marketing, brand awareness, an audience, engagement, traffic and sales, or even questions about the group or upcoming programs? You guys tell me. You're in control. It's Saturday. At least it's no longer at night, in the evening. I want to answer as many questions as possible. So let me look at the comments. I see Sylvia. I see Liz, Wendy, Ayatollah, Aya, Katrina, Jason, Amin. Amin is saying, thanks, Alaa, for this. I missed many sessions, so I hope I can still get a chance to see the recordings. Yes, you will see the recordings. They're staying in the group, so don't worry about it. This challenge right now is still free, and I'm leaving everything in there. Now, in the future, would I make it for a fee? Yes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever gets people going. Right now, my goal is to reach 1,000 people with this challenge. So if you've benefited from it so far, let people know. Don't add them to the group. Just send them a link to the group. But yes, the recordings are going to remain here. And now the recordings, as I just mentioned, are also going to be in the academy. So if you have friends or anyone who simply doesn't like Facebook, you know what? You can just join directly, and that's free as well. Wendy's saying valuable information. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Jan, nice to see you, Jan. All right, Liz is asking, Alaa, what could I do with my product? This is for polo competitors, but I have a lot of pole dancers clients. Pole competitors or polo competitor? I guess pole competitors. Okay, this may be considered immoral. A guy who was going to help me with Facebook told me Facebook has restrictions for it and refused to work for me. I explained that pole fitness is a sport and that now kids are doing it. And yes, pole dancers buy it and happy, but how could I do my advertising? So I don't know the business. What are the rules with regards to the type of product you're selling? But I know obviously fitness works. With regards to restricted categories, so over the last year, I was working heavily in the CBD oil industry. And if there's one industry that is very, very restrictive is CBD oil. I could tell you for a fact that obviously Facebook, Google, all the major ad networks have very high, strict guidelines in terms of what can be done. I mean, Google, forget it. You can't advertise CBD anywhere other than now they've been kind of like easygoing with regards to hemp CBD, which is what I was involved in. So hemp-derived CBD oil. You need to educate yourself from Facebook's help and ask them. So if you create a Facebook ad account and reach out to them and ask them the question directly, don't rely on anyone then. Try to search it on Google. But again, if you really want to make sure whether or not you could do it, just reach out to Facebook through the ads and get some support on that. I'm sure they have the answer to this. I don't know the answer. I know that anything explicit is becoming a challenge. So anything in the sex industry, obviously anything in tobacco and all that, and alcohol, it's always been. But again, there are restricted categories and you need to learn about those. I don't have the exact answer, but the information is available out there. Now, my tip to you guys, because you guys are actually building out your own businesses, you rely a lot on your own knowledge. Anytime somebody tells you something, just confirm, audit, let's say. Don't just take their word for it. You'll be surprised at what you find out there. Remember, this Facebook person is in the business of making you money through Facebook, and you don't know what are their true intentions. So go out there and Google, do a quick search, and you'll be surprised what you will be able to find in terms of answers. And if you can't find it, just go directly to the source and ask them, "Can I do this?" Now, follow-up question, not a question, but a follow-up answer to this. What if Google has restricted you and Facebook has restricted you from promoting this? Look, I'll be honest. It requires a lot more work. Already e-commerce is hard when it comes to building and making it successful and selling a lot and everything else. If you can't advertise on Google and Facebook and you don't have a celebrity brand like Kim Kardashian and all that, they could sell anything and they're going to sell. They don't need to even advertise on Google or Facebook. People know them. So if they're in the restricted category, they could easily sell it because they have enough awareness and celebrity status. If you're just starting from scratch, you don't have an audience, you're selling in a restricted category, be ready to put in a lot of work and money if you can't do it yourself. Meaning, you're going to have to create a lot of content. You're going to have to share a lot of videos. You're going to have to do a lot of the free tactics. You're going to have to work with affiliates. You're going to have to work with PR agencies. You're going to have to work a lot with influencers. You're going to have to, even influencers may not always want to promote a restricted category because it impacts their brand. I've seen that happen. So many brands I tried to reach out to, so many influencers I tried to reach out to about CBD oil, and because of the bad rep that CBD or marijuana has, they didn't want to risk it. So again, you're going to have more and more challenges. So if you're already in the restricted category, just be ready for that. But I would make sure that I do my homework first and try to find what are the policies with regards to your category before committing fully. So at least you're more knowledgeable about it. I hope that answers your question. So it's going to be a lot of content creation, a lot of blogs, a lot of videos that you're going to share on Facebook, as long as they're not explicit. It's going to be a lot of affiliate marketing. It's going to be a lot of SEO optimization. It's going to be a lot of influencer marketing. It's going to be a lot of banner ads, because there's a lot of networks outside of Google that can do banners, but banners don't produce the results you expect. A lot of the restricted categories rely on affiliates, people who have already an audience, and they're going to send you traffic and you only pay them when they sell. So that's affiliate marketing. It's a pay performance type of model. I hope that answers your question. Nice to see you, Felicitas. Liz says, oh, you made a question. Yeah. So Wendy is asking, with my yoga shop and product, can I add meditation product? Of course. Why not? People who do yoga love meditation sometimes. Why not? And what's nice about meditation is the following. So you might put some meditation products, but if you add the meditation category, you can actually teach people about it. So you can create content related to meditation with the goal of eventually converting these people into a yoga customer that might buy a mat from you. So let's say, for example, someone who's doing meditation, they need to set up a nice corner for themselves so that they can meditate. They need a nice, comfortable mat and all that. You can start sharing a lot of, let's say, you can create a PDF download for people. So instead of telling people, sign up to my email list and I'll give you 10% off, you're going to tell them, well, do you want this meditation guide? 7 tricks to help you meditate every day for 10 minutes without getting distracted. That's just a guide. That's a buying guide. And people who come into the website could eventually download this guide, and they'll give you their email address. And then what happens is they're consuming your guide. You can send them more tips via email. So Klaviyo and all the tools I shared can make it all automated. So the first email says, thank you for downloading my guide. Here's your guide. You may want to join my Facebook group. You may want to learn more about meditation, read the following blog posts. And the next email could be about something else. And the third email could be a coupon offer telling them, by the way, we sell meditation products like, for example, a yoga mat to help you meditate. It's really comfortable. You can sit on it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes and not have any muscle pain in your legs or all that stuff. And here's a coupon on your first purchase. So yes, you could do it. You just got to be creative in how you can help. How can that category help you achieve your end goal, which is a sale of your products? Hope that answers your question. Any other questions? So I might be doing more of these videos about building a store once a month, twice a month within the Build a Store Challenge. And in the new group, Double My E-commerce Sales in 12 Months, we're going to do more of these videos, but not a challenge. It's not every day. We're going to be talking about ideas on how you could drive traffic. So you can ask me these questions to get started. You're welcome. Any other questions for those of you that are here? And that's what's nice about these live sessions is the fact that you can ask questions. Those who are watching the recording, unfortunately, you can't ask, and it's a lot harder for me to get back to you. So it's a great opportunity for those who want to take advantage of this. And don't forget, please, the Build a Store Challenge, we have the giveaway. So again, till next week it ends, I'll remind you guys. So if you've completed all the tasks and you want to, why is it always going? Oh, I put it in the announcements, I think. Yeah, there were 2 announcements. Make sure you sign up to the contest, the giveaway. I'm putting it in the comments. So the giveaway is right here. Again, it's just another way of taking advantage of this challenge. So another question Liz is asking, or comment. What I was doing before COVID was giving clothes to good athletes and that are competing, and that are considered really good. They make videos and post them on Instagram. The deal is that I will use the. Did you, have you done that yet, or are you? Was that an idea that you wanted to pursue? I just want to make sure. So you're really kind of like using so-called influencers to, not influencers, but your target audience. You wanted to give them some clothing so that they use it and then video record themselves and send it back to you so you could use it in your material, marketing material. That's what I. It is a good idea, of course it is. Again, it's more of how are you going to measure success, and the idea from there. You want to make sure that you use these videos, these creative videos, to their full potential. And a lot of times what happens is you will do this at a cost. Obviously, you're sending them free stuff. They're going to keep it, I guess. If they're doing that and they're sending you a video, I would make sure that, so there's a couple of ways of going. It is a very good idea, especially when you're getting started, because you're showcasing people who is your clientele wearing your product or using your product, and that is great. So people can visualize, oh, that's how it's going to look like on me or on them or whatever it is. One thing I would highly recommend is set expectations on deliverables with these people. So when you give them the product, don't just give them the product. Tell them, I'm going to give you this product for free. In exchange, here is what I would like to get from you. I would like to get a minute video, a minute, specify it then. How long should the video be? What is it that you need to make sure they do in the video? I mean, do you want them just to stand still, or do you want them to do something? So in your case, obviously the pole dance, the pole fitness and all that stuff, ask them, what is it that you want them to do? Is there any specific actions or maneuvers that you want them to have in the video? Be specific. All that information is important, because in the end, the last thing you want is you're giving away all this product. They're sending you videos, but unfortunately, the quality of the videos and the content of those videos does not help you. So you want to be able to use all that. You can tell them, you can do it with a regular phone. You even ask them, do you want the video landscape or vertical? You got to make sure you specify that. So I highly recommend you do it landscape, because vertical not on YouTube is going to be an issue. So make sure you tell them landscape, send me the video, put it on Google Drive. Is it on Dropbox? Communicate all of those step by step. And I highly recommend that in the video, you don't just ask them to wear the product, but also ask them for a testimonial in the end. So the last 15 seconds, ask them specific questions where the answers can help you sell this product. Ask them, for example, let's say you're selling the clothing. How comfortable is the what you're wearing? Is it comfortable? Do you feel good when you're doing these fitness maneuvers? Are you okay with it? Are you flexible? Or ask all these questions that usually would be asked by someone who might be thinking about buying your product. Giving this type of testimony, this type of video will help you, but you have to educate those people and tell them exactly what you want. So really make sure you set the expectations on what is it that you expect in terms of a deliverable, and also make sure that they sign off on it. That's very important too. I don't know, obviously the laws in all the countries are different. Just make sure you get somehow an agreement, one letter thing, just saying that I authorize you to use this video in any, I don't know, commercials or any ads or anything like that. So you don't have any legal issues. And there's templates online for you to consider. How that helps. I had made those agreements. Perfect. Yeah. Again, by the way, don't let COVID stop you from doing anything. Be on the defensive and the offensive side of things. And in business, defensive, obviously, you got to take into consideration what's happening with the current situation in the world with COVID and how could that impact you. And you have to be ready, have some planning, some adjustments and all that. But that's on the defensive side. On the offensive side, you can't stop doing what you're doing. So if you're an employee, you got to continue working for the companies you're doing things for. If you have a business, you got to find ways of generating income. And if you have an online store, then don't stop doing things. There's great opportunities right now because, again, what is marketing? Grabbing people's attention. Right now, so many people were only on the defensive side. They're not taking advantage of the current situation where there was so much noise before. A lot of companies stopped advertising. Perfect opportunity for you to be in the spotlight. And the perfect example is, honestly, look at my challenge right now. I decided to run it as soon as the situation happened. And guess what? It's been the best month in terms of awareness, in terms of building my audience, in terms of actually getting results. People are actually buying my course without me trying to sell anything, which is the best part. But again, I went into it because of building awareness, helping people and all that. But the result is automatically there because I went on the offensive side, not just defensive. So just keep that in mind. Don't stop, just start right away. Reach out to these people, especially right now is a perfect time. Obviously, if they can't go to the gym or in their setting to be able to show you these things, you can at least still have a discussion with them. You don't need to do any maneuvers. You can have them just wear your clothing and ask them for feedback, or do a live Facebook Live with them to showcase like a digital catwalk if you want. So that's another idea. Felicitas is asking, while on Shopify trial, do I have my stores pages hidden or stay published? I'm not sure. When you're on the trial, there is a password. So if you go inside your store, remember that when we built out the store in, I believe, day 4 or 5, I can't remember the days. Let me just go in. So if you go inside your store, let me make sure it's under preferences. Yeah, if you go under preferences, you'll notice how there is a password right here. Technically, this password will be asked from anyone who will log into your site. If they don't have the password, the whole website is hidden at this point. Nothing gets indexed. Google's not going to index it. As soon as the site goes live, then the pages are visible. But inside, let's say you created pages. Remember that when you click on a page, you have the option right here of making it also hidden. It doesn't show, but again, if somebody has a link to it, they may reach it. So just that, these are the restrictions that are currently available to you. So for those who are joining, what's next? Make sure to join Double My Sales group. This is the next group for you to join. It's free. That's where we're going to talk about all of this information. And if you're built your store and you want to generate, obviously, sales and traffic, you got to get out of this group. And well, you can stay in this group, but go in the other one where I'm going to be more creating content with regards to this topic. I hope this answers, Felicitas, your question. Lowendi is saying, I found with COVID, we have more opportunities and people need support and valuable information. Yes, and the reason being is people are home and they're not being distracted. Again, it goes back to attention. A lot of categories in e-commerce have gained a lot of momentum and attention. Why? Because they're just, people are home. For example, right now, bread making machines, what's it called? Bread making devices, small appliances are selling like crazy because people are home, and bread is somewhat an easy way to learn how to create something by yourself from scratch, and that you can't screw up, really. It's just the machine is going to do the work. You need the right recipe. So bread making is becoming very, very popular. A lot of categories are gaining attention because of the current situation. So again, don't miss out on this. And because not everyone else is advertising, a lot of people have dropped their advertising dollars because they either can't run the business, they don't have employees, they don't have enough, they can't conduct business. Not everyone got, a lot of people went through some bad luck of dealing with the situation. But you shouldn't be just on the defensive, you should be on the offensive side. Liz is awesome. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Appreciate all your information. Started my website. It's been all really good. I tried to sign in the other page you mentioned, but I couldn't. It may be because I'm watching the video. Definitely. Yeah. So when you join in, you're welcome. First of all, I'm very happy you guys are benefiting from this knowledge. And this is the type of knowledge, by the way, I'm going to be sharing in the other group about the topic of driving more sales and traffic. When you log into the group, understand that you're going to be on a list. I haven't accepted anyone yet. I haven't even advertised it in my email list. So again, I'm just preparing the group, and I should be launching it shortly, maybe next week. And then your guys are going to come in, and I'm going to conduct more of these live videos where you can ask me questions. And what's nice about it is I might try to be a little bit more, there's no challenge, but I'm going to try to organize things in such a way that I can help you get things started. And obviously, advanced strategies, the stuff that works, the stuff that makes the crazy money, those things are going to be part of my program. My program is very premium, but there is something coming up. So you don't want to miss out on this. I can tell you for a fact that if you guys enjoyed the Build a Store, and you're going to, I guarantee you're going to enjoy the Double My E-commerce sales. When I launch my program in the coming weeks, you're going to see that whoever jumps on it, it is a once in a while opportunity to jump in at a very, very discounted rate. So make sure you to join the group, because I'm going to be offering that through a masterclass that I'm going to be launching soon. Any other questions? Oban is saying, obviously, we join the group once we are done creating our store. It's your choice, Oban. It's all about you and your discipline. If you are serious about learning the skill of building a store and you want to learn more about e-commerce, digital marketing, because for me right now, I truly believe that the skill of knowing how to build a website and the digital marketing skills are crucial for anyone to learn. You have to learn about those things. It's a skill, just like learning how to type fast. These skills will help you do anything you want in any industry, whether you're selling products or services. Knowing how to build a website and knowing how to do digital marketing, whether you're a dentist or someone who is selling yoga apparel, you will benefit from learning how to use technology and marketing, digital marketing. So if you're able to concentrate while you're building the store, then for sure you can join. I'm not, the group is there for anyone who wants to join. But I just want to make sure people don't get overwhelmed. And if you want to take advantage of anything that I offer in the group that is live, obviously I'm not going to advertise back and forth. I'm just going to focus on one group and the topic. And sometimes maybe I'll talk about the other group in the Build a Store. But again, it's all in your hands. So if you could do it, great. Felicitas, yes, thank you again for the answer. But my question, I have another request above. What, do you have another question above, Felicitas? Oh, yeah, I did see it. So Felicitas asking, I missed that question. Alaa, we have a shopify.com.ph. Do I switch my subscription when I finally launch it in my country after the 90-day trial? Well, if you want to launch it, as soon as don't wait for the trial, because you want to make sure that everything is set up. And look, if you're in it, just launch the store. Don't wait in the trial, because there might be, me personally, that's me. What's a month? What's 2 months? Start now, switch it over to paid, and start selling. And the sooner you start, the better. And understand that when you go live, don't think that you're gonna have thousands and thousands of people come into the store. So again, it's great so that you get familiar, and you're giving Google a chance to crawl your website so that it shows up in results. So you want to make sure that that is also handled earlier on. When you guys launch your store, highly think about launching a giveaway. That people will love it, and you could use Instagram for that to drive traffic from your audience. Tell people, I'm getting ready to launch my store. Make sure to sign up to this giveaway for your chance to win one of 3 items. And you can do this for like 3 months. Nobody cares. You know, it's not like people are staying there, oh, I can't wait for this contest to end. But you got an email address, and you can start promoting the store. So you can say, sign up right now for your chance to win one of 3 items. The contest will end, let's say, June 30th. Okay, you have 2 months. So for 2 months, as people come to the website, you're constantly promoting the giveaway. You're constantly building your email list. You start emailing them slowly, and they get to browse your store. And eventually one day they could win one of your prizes. So I hope that answers your question, Felicitas. You're welcome. Excellent. Any other questions? Don't forget to like or love the video, just so that it goes up in the group. I want people to see it. Any other questions about the challenge so far? Double my e-commerce sales. What's next? Are you worried about something? What's on your mind? Anything e-commerce specific. Before I sign off, it's a great opportunity. And don't forget the giveaway. So submit your store so that you could win one of many things. If you guys are on the website too, here, look, since I'm waiting to see if any questions. If you go to the website, eCommerce Training Academy, if you want something to read, if you click on 8-figure e-commerce, right here, you can download a guide, 7 mistakes you must avoid. So it's a great, it's about 25 pages long. So in it, I share all the different mistakes that you should avoid and my solutions to those mistakes if you are making them right now. And I also share my experience dealing with each of those mistakes from my 18 years of e-com experience as well. So this guide is great to kind of give you an idea of what to expect next, even though you're not building an 8-figure e-commerce business. If you're going into e-commerce, there's a lot of things I talk about that matter, will have to be thought of in order for you to succeed in this industry. So if you want to go there, just go to e-commerce training academy, click on the 8-figure e-commerce right here. I also have a lot of blog posts in case you guys want to learn more. I just recently published one on how to create an online store. A lot of subject lines, digital, I keep writing. Once in a while I'm writing, but right now the focus is a lot on the Facebook and building out my premium program, which I'm about to launch. Let me see if there are any questions. Nothing. Perfect. Well, if there aren't any more questions, then I want to make sure that we sign off the right way. Again, all this content is going to remain in the group. Make sure to join in on the challenge, because now, as I mentioned, everything is available online in the academy, so you can have it as a course. All the videos are there. This way you kind of disconnect from Facebook if needed without being interrupted. And that's it for now. I've planned. Lowendi saying, I have planned to launch my shop May 1st. Hope I'm not going over. No, you're not. You're not. I mean, honestly, I've built a store in 2 days. That's me. But if you put your mind to it and you launch it again, launching something better than being. Don't expect it to be perfect. I forgot even the saying, but don't expect to launch something that's going to be 100% perfect. So better is better than perfect eventually doing things. So launch it and tweak for the next couple of days. That's okay. Again, you're not Nike. You're not the big brands out there. Let's be honest. And as soon as you start driving traffic, you learn also. And only when something is live, you start taking it seriously. And the best part about anything is when you start seeing progress, you get motivated. But if you delay that one thing, which is to launch your store, you're never going to take it seriously. You don't even feel like sharing it with anybody because it's not live. But as soon as you go live, trust me, there's something that happens in our brain. We're like, yes, I've accomplished something. I see progress. You start getting excited. It shows in your voice. When you speak to people, you can send people to it. Look at my website. It's almost like the gym. What's the first thing that we do when we want to start working out? We don't do the more important things. We right away go buy some workouts and we sign up to the gym. That membership mentally gives us a sign of progress. Yeah, I've done the first thing. Great. I'm going to start taking the working out seriously. That gym membership, because now you've done it, you saw a sign of progress, it gives you motivation to start and take it seriously. The same goes with e-commerce. Launch it. You can't screw it up. I can honestly say that. And just test it. That's it. That's all it is. Just test, make sure everything goes well, and launch it. Put a date. If you schedule it, it gets done. If not, it won't get done. And that's exactly what I've been doing inside this challenge, by the way. I did not expect to launch this. And I launched it 3-4 days after I thought about it. And I even launched it when? March 27th, which is what it was my birthday. On that day, March 27th, what was the first video I've done. It was my birthday. I could have spent time celebrating, but instead I said, you know what? Let me schedule something on an important date for me. And let's start with it. And only when I scheduled it and I launched it, that's when I committed to it in the last 21 days. So again, scheduling things does make a big difference. So May 1st, Lowendi, go for it. And you know what? We'll make sure we check up on you that you launched it. And I will close at this. Thanks again for joining me for today's session. And I'll see you in the upcoming ones. So stay on the lookout for any upcoming events that I schedule. Just notify yourself, make sure you sign up so you get reminders of anything inside the group. And I'll see you in Double My E-Commerce Sales in 12 months. Take care and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.